Okay, we got our oil on the surface here. We got our water. We got our parallax occlusion mapping going on here. And so the last stage is I want to drop in, some extra debris to kind of flow with the water here. So what I'm going to do is, once again, I'm just going to go to Quixel Bridge, and I'm just going to look for some debris, some scatter, anything that has bits and pieces that I can lay on top of this water to kind of go downstream. So I'm going to try looking under decals to see if there is, just some maybe something under tree, fallen branches. That looks interesting. So maybe I'll grab this. I'll grab the high quality of this. I'll download this and add this onto the scene. So I'll add this into my project, and we'll see that this is going to give me some diffuse map, normal map, and a what looks like a height map, roughness map, and an alpha, which is going to be nice because this blue channel has this masked out selection of where the twigs are, and I also have kind of a height map here if I want to do something with the height map on this as well. So I think this is going to work just as a sample for what we can do to kind of layer on yet another layer on top of this. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to comment this. I'm going to call this the oil layer. And then above this is where I'm going to add my last slab. And I'm going to add in those decals that I just downloaded, or these textures that I just downloaded. Just going to drag these in. And I'm not going to do anything too fancy here. I'm simply going to use these maps and plug them directly into their channels here. So I'm going to plug the diffuse in there. I'm going to plug my normal map in here. And then this one was what was this? Height map, roughness map, and alpha. So I'll grab the roughness map from the green channel. And while I'm here, I'll add a named reroute to be the twigs alpha. Just so I have it for when I'm working with a horizontal blend. This is or a coverage, whatever I want to use. And this is what I'm going to be using to kind of isolate and mask out these areas. So at this part, I could definitely add in any extra elements that I want. And I think the only elements that I'm going to add in right now, like I could add in kind of color adjustments here. And there's actually a really helpful node under the material functions. That's the base color adjustments, which is really nice because all those common controls that you typically would want with a base color adjustment is here just in a material function that comes shipped with it now. So you can desaturate, you can adjust the value, you can adjust the tint, you can adjust the contrast of it just by adding this node, which is really handy. For me though, I just want these to tile, and I'm just going to say I want to be able to adjust the panning of it as well. So I'm going to just copy the code because no need to recreate something. Just going to rename some of this and plug this into a new group called twigs. And I'll plug this into the UVs of each one of these maps. And I'm just going to adjust the speed of my twigs by default. Cool. So I can build this up as much as I like and adding in, normal, flat and normal intensities, roughness, contrast, all that kind of stuff. But for now, I'm just going to label this as twigs and add a named reroute for twigs. Terrific. So now I can layer this on top of all my other layers. And this time, instead of using a vertical blend, I only want this to show up kind of where my twigs are, and I want it to use the other layers which is everything else where there's not twigs. So I don't want to kind of blend the water, the oil on top of the twigs here. So for this, I'm going to use a horizontal blend. I'm going to go ahead and plug in my background, and for whatever reason, well, I guess it makes sense, but for the background, this time I want to use the material that I've already built up. Then for my foreground, I want to add in my twig slab. And it's asking me, okay, well, where do you want this twig slab to show up? Right now, it's just blending both of them together. And I'm going to say, take the alpha of the twigs. So that's why I stored it as a named reroute, right? It was stored within the blue channel of that Quixel Megascans decal that I downloaded. And then I'm going to just say, if I plug this in right now, we'll see that it's giving me the opposite effect. Oh, it's actually giving me the correct effect. Okay. But if it wasn't, if it's giving me the opposite effect, I could just add a 1- node here if the map was reversed by accident. But it's not, so I don't need to do that for this map. Cool. So now, if I save this and see all of this together, I now have some twigs kind of flowing along with this river. I have control over the speed over that. When I'm looking at this at just the right angle, I'm able to see the grazing angle of the oil spill kind of being picked up there. I could go back and start adding in some controls to kind of help blend this twigs in together. But all of this layer here, which looks like a number of different kind of pieces together, looks like a rocky mesh underneath and a water surface on top and twigs all. This is all one surface, right? And that's the kind of the nice power of being able to build up multiple surface types all within one shader. Is I'm able to do this all through material work instead of having to kind of rely on other ways that we've had to do it in the past with legacy PBR workflows. So this is just, again, another exercise for how Substrate can be used and maybe some different ways of thinking about how we approach our texturing and approach our workflows when it comes to material authoring.